So a new anime series came out out of nowhere, and that mainly is not going to be anything out of the anime season this year, because trust me and all that, it's not going to be anything I'm really interested in at all, but it is the fact of Castlevania. This is a Netflix exclusive show that just dropped recently, and every single episode, and I just recently binge watched all of these episodes. I want to let you guys know and all that you should probably check this out. For a 4-episode thing, which 20 episodes a minute, that ain't too bad. Like, you can get this done. It's practically just watching a single full feature movie at this point of Castlevania, and boy oh boy, I had a lot of things to say about this and all that, like, as I absolutely just enjoyed it for the bloody romp that it was. So, I'm going to be straight up and forward with you guys immediately, is that I'm not, like, a very huge person that plays Castlevania. I had actually only played, like, Judgment on the Wii, like, that was, like, one fighting game, and I know that was done by the Death Note guy. And I played, like, a little bit of Symphony of Night way back in the day, and, like, a bit of Lords of Shadow, so I'm not going to pretend here that I know a lot about Castlevania, or I know a lot about the series itself, but it has always kind of given me a huge curiosity for it, and as far as I've been told, is that this version of Castlevania has kind of been like a retelling, or like it does versions from like Castlevania 3 with Trevor Belmont, who is our main character, albeit and all that. There is some stuff as well involving Symphony of Night as well, from what I know about that. There's a few things in here, and it's a little weird little mishmash of things and all that, but for what it does and all that, I feel like with the 4-episode time limit that it had and all that, it definitely was an absolute blast. To kind of paint a picture of what exactly is going down, the first episode of the show doesn't even really focus on like Trevor at all. It actually focuses on Dracula, like Vlad Tepes. Like, it focuses on him and like this woman that comes to his castle, which, by the way, you understand by the first second of this show who the fuck kind of Dracula this is, where this guy has got fucking corpses everywhere laying across his land, like Vlad the fucking Impaler living to his name, just all these like skeletons just impaled everywhere, and this woman that comes in to his house is saying like, I am here and all that because I know of how wise and strong you are, and I need medication, like I need like to help people, that's why I want to do. And it's like, well, what can you fucking offer me? Like, you know, like, I'm this almighty immortal being, and like, I clearly don't like people, and it's like, I'm going to teach you to like people once again. I'm going to teach you to, like, you know, go around and you can learn a thing or two from me. And it's like, this actually turns out to be like Dracula's wife, like this, after all this time. And it showed like this little backstory how he came across this woman, and like how like Dracula actually gave humanity a chance, since they've always been kind of closed off, and like he's never really interacted with people. And I thought that was really interesting, and like him opening up a little bit to well, and it's like, I'm gonna go traveling, I'm gonna go around, and I thought it was really interesting, albeit the church didn't like agree with this, you know, calling him saying like originally thinking that it was a myth. And like when his wife like came into like their village, just decided to call her a witch and burn her at the stake, and you see a full burning, you see the skeleton, and it's really rough. And the fact of the matter is that when like Dracula goes to to his wife's house and sees this, and just sees a little old lady just putting some flowers on the grave, and he just said, this is the last kindness I will give mankind, you will leave with your family tonight. Like, he just loses it. Like, I love the scene where he's just there, and it's like a single tear of blood just going down his eye, and it's like, it's a very well done told. And the fact of the matter is that Dracula, what he does in the first episode, like, he has his reasons, just the way that he's going around it is completely wrong, because this is the worst person to piss off, is this almighty deity. Like, pretty much, this Dracula, we see that he can, like, manipulate fire, he can summon armies of demons, he is a fucking monster, and, like, it's like, you just, like, as, like, pretty much has got everyone, even with Trevor, Belmont and all that, like, you pissed off the one thing in mankind that you shouldn't have pissed off, like, because the church was like, oh, no, witchcraft, we don't believe in this stuff, oh, she was helping, but, oh, that goes against the name of God, like, so the season kind of really paints a picture of, like, how, like, the name of God and stuff like that is kind of bad, and then it's like the people that kind of worship it as well, but also as well as it's like how extreme like Dracula goes. But then again, he did lose his wife, and you even see Alucard in this night. Like that's one character I pretty much know for a little bit. I played it like Symphony of the Night and like know a little bit about him, and the fact of the matter is that he's not really in this. Like he's practically only in the first episode a little bit, and in the last episode as well. It mainly focuses on Trevor throughout the entirety, which Trevor, I'm not gonna lie, I had a fucking laugh with him. Like, I feel like, if anything and all that, he swears like a sailor. Like, for the most part, he's like, ah, fucking vampires, like, fucking this, that. Like, he really does not give a rat's ass at all. Like, he does not give a shit, and I kind of appreciate that, as like he has his reasons as well. His whole family, the Belmonts, were excommunicated from the church. They were believing as well that they're one of the causes as well for Dracula being around. It's like they're there as vampire hunters to help around, and this is the treatment that they got. And like this Trevor being the last of like his family, from what it seems, being excommunicated, and he can't even go around for a single bit of fucking booze without like people trying to go out. Like some fucking weird creepy farmer like incest motherfuckers out there, and like talking about like fucking goats and shit like that. Like, I like to point that out, is like this show is really bloody, really gory, and it's one of the, I guess say one of the main attractions I say is that you get to see a whole Castlevania series that's just like rated R. It's just real fucking gory. People die, like, and that's why I feel like if people really enjoy stuff like a Hellsing Ultimate, where it's just balls to the wall, just a blood fest. If you just want a gore fest, then this is definitely what it delivers. If you want a great, spectacular retelling of the Castlevania series, I don't think you're going to get that from here, because I've mentioned as well, like, one of the biggest issues of this series is the fact of the matter is that the ending's not really conclusive. It isn't at all. It's really sequel baity and all that, and then thank God they actually did just announce a season 2 for this, so it's like, it's going to be coming out next year for it. I think they were kind of worried that this was going to bomb really hard, and the fact of the matter is they actually did really well, so maybe that's why they did 4 episodes, but it's 4 episodes, it's really quick, you don't even get a conclusive ending. It's more like, well, our job is not finished yet. Like, not to go fully into full spoilers without the entire thing, I don't want to like leave some of the stuff, but the matter of the fact is that there's no real conclusion, not that big of the character growth. Like, Trevor kind of becomes less of a dick. There's a new girl that kind of gets introduced, like Cypher is her name. Don't really get a lot about that, but what it does well, like, I feel like as well, like with the action scenes, is like some of them that you get, especially in the last episode. There's a great sword fight scene I really like, a fight where he's going against a Cyclops as well. Like, there's just a vast amount of animation. The one thing I will complain about, just animation wise and all that, is that the characters sometimes did look very flat. I felt like when it isn't fully animated, like I felt like every scene that like Dracula was in was fantastic, and he looked fucking well animated and all that. There were like a couple of times I remember seeing Trevor looking like a little bit flat faced and like a little bit derpy here and there, but that's not gonna matter for like just mean people that are there who just want to just see an enjoyable, just it's chill. Like, honestly, I feel like this is a perfect thing. You can watch it in like pretty much in an hour or two. Just get it done. Just sit back and enjoy. That's clearly how I see this Castlevania. I'm not, even as well when I came into this, I wasn't expecting this very rich like world and all that. I feel like this is the art though. The artwork, like all the backgrounds, is fucking gorgeous. Like, just the entirety of it is just immaculate. I love like all the surroundings. Like, if you guys love Bloodborne, and just that's the pretty much the vibe I got from this. I think like add like all of like Hellsing's kind of gorish animation and like just real, just balls to the wall if you want that, and then add it into the fact just like, let's add this real Bloodborne like kind of background and aesthetic to it. And I really did like that with like the Crimson Knight that they were having around with like with the town and everything, and I really liked it. And I feel like this is something I would definitely recommend the people that like want to see like a very gory action series, but then again, it doesn't have to be like, oh, I need to see all this deep, like, blah. No, I just want to see something gory, fun, enjoyable. There were some funny moments here and there. There were some action moments, and I definitely feel that, like, this to come out of nowhere, like, just, like, when it's just hearing about it, and I was saying, oh, this is going to be a fucking train wreck. This is either going to be the worst thing in the century, or it's going to be meh. And I actually came out of this being surprisingly really good. Like, the only problem is, I think, that I really wish they took more of the chance with it. And I kind of wish that we had a little bit more of the conclusion. It generally is, like, the worst thing about this show is the fact that it's 4 episodes. It doesn't conclude anything, and like just the pacing, I feel like it's just all over the place with it. So I would, if anything, I would give it like a 7. Like if I had to actually like grade it, I'd say 7, 7.5, like that. I think it's really good, really enjoy it for what it is. I don't think the true like big Castlevania fans maybe not get that much out of it. I think maybe they're probably expecting something. I think that like I know like Castlevania is like really deep with its lore as well, with like everything to do with like all these characters and all these Belmont families, and like I don't know whether or not Trevor's one of the popular ones. I know Symphony of the Night that had Alucard in it. I know full well that he's like one of the most popular characters. So I feel like that was kind of the reason why they had to like really shove him in there. And I feel like the way how they kind of explain him away and all that is really clever. But like generally, I kind of wish for a little bit more. So if this was maybe double the episode, or heck, if it was just like, if they said, like, we showed, like, one episode and that was it, and it was like, here's a teaser for the rest, and the rest is going to be coming out, like, next year or something like that, I felt like this was, like, a little bit too early, and, like, they wanted just to see if this was going to do well or not, because they clearly didn't have faith where it's like, alright, let's give you another, like, commission you guys for another 4 to 8 episodes, but fact of the matter, it's goddamn enjoyable, and I would heavily recommend it to people and all that. I feel like you're not going to come out of it with like a breathtaking experience. I don't think you're going to come out of here saying like, I think that I need to see all the Castlevanias here. Like, this has piqued my interest in Castlevania. I definitely want to check out some of the games now because of this. Like, it makes me want to understand a little bit more of this, so fucking kudos to there. Just a shame that it's actually sold by the actual Satan that is Konami, but overall, it is really fun, and if anything, I hope this even triggers something for Konami, just a little bit in there saying, hey, we still have the license to this franchise. People like Castlevania. People want to do things with this series, and hopefully that's something that triggers it. So I'm at least looking forward to the second season. That should be coming out next year. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And the fact that this means a good news, like, you know, after like shows like this, like for like kind of being like animated and all that outside Japan and stuff like that, where we've got stuff like Voltron as well being done by like all the people that was doing Korra as well. Like, I love that. Like, that's happening now, and like, you know, they're getting fucking paid good money for like the real hard work. If anything, I say through the improvements to season 2, I feel like definitely a little bit more focus on maybe just more reasons to care about the characters, apart from just like, look at gory action and their little one-liners and stuff like that. Like, give us a little bit more reason to care. I feel like more time, like the one episode they did on Dracula, that was all I needed. That was all I needed for him, and I kind of wish we had a little bit more with Trevor, like kind of like going around and all that. Same thing with like Scythe. I felt like she did really nothing. Like, she didn't really come into fruition until like the 3rd episode or so. So, and the same thing as well could be said with the 4th character as well. Like, I definitely feel like with the one that got revealed right at the very end, I feel like although there's just not enough time with him and all that, I hope that the second season kind of fixes some of that stuff, and then maybe they like with some of the scenes and all that, make the characters not look a bit flat like they kind of did at some points and all that. But other than that, 7.5 like out of 10. I think it's a good thing to watch and all that, and I definitely would recommend it. And I'm curious to see if like any other people have seen it. What do you guys think of the new Castlevania like show and all that? What do you think about it? That's all from me though. So thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you guys though next time.